Hey guys, my name is Falco. Today we are looking at all of the battle items and monsters of Etheria. Let me clear up something first. I kinda came up with this term just to make it easier to refer to in the video. A battle item is an equipable item which helps in combat, so nothing like healing items or anything. You can put these on your Etherian to make them stronger in some form. There are a ton of battle items, but the majority of them right now are event locked. They are currently unobtainable, even though they are sometimes very influential during a match. This may change in the future, but as of right now, I'm electing to ignore all event items until they become available to the average player. Okay, all battle items can be bought from the shop for 200 credits each, but different items are sold on different days of the week. They all boost the power of the moves of one type by 20%. So, for example, any electric type moves used by an Etherian holding expired batteries are 20% stronger. This is the electric type item, by the way. And, as expected, an Etherian can only hold one item at a time, so you'll need to pick which one you want to use. Here's the current item schedule in the shop. And just to repeat, all of these items can be bought for 200 credits. On Monday, there's the bug type item and the grass type item. On Tuesday, there's the ghost type item and the ice type item. On Wednesday, there's the fighting type item and the dragon type item. On Thursday, this is when we start getting into the 3 items sold. There's the poison type item, the dark type item, and the normal type item, or basic actually. On Friday, there's the metal item, the fire item, and the terra item. On Saturday, there's the wind item, the light item, and the water item. And then on Sunday, we have the cosmic item, the electric item, and the psychic item. Here's how you can choose an item for an Etherian. If an Etherian has a bunch of different types of attacking moves, there are essentially 2 different ways to choose an item. You could choose to pick the item that complements the move that you hit the most often, or you could look and see if an Etherian has more than one move of a certain type. If you choose the former, you'll be increasing the power of the move you hit the most often, which has obvious benefits. If you choose the latter, you'll be improving your move pulse damage, since you'll be boosting more than one move. Choose the strategy that makes sense to you, but note that the item's boost doesn't help if you don't ever hit the opponent with a move of the corresponding type. Now, I would recommend buying most, if not all, of the battle items, but I recognize that people may need to prioritize their spending early game. This is partially built on my opinion, but here's a tier list to determine which ones you should buy first. These items are the must-buys. You'll want to save credit for these. The Shady Dagger, Toy Mallet, Teardrop Necklace, and Magma Crystal. For the Shady Dagger, which is, in my opinion, the best item in the game, so many Etherians use and rely on dark-type moves. Night Slash, Bite, Crunch, and Dark Pulse are all exceptional. A lot of high-tier and low-tier Etherians use these. If an Etherian has a dark-type move, you generally need a very good reason not to run Shady Dagger. Now, for Toy Mallet, while there aren't as many Etherians that use this as Shady Dagger, the Etherians that use it well usually have very good reason. Hyper Beam and Giga Impact are powerhouse moves that use Toy Mallet very well, as they are finisher moves that like to be able to knock out the opponent earlier. These moves are also generally on better Etherians' move pools, so someone who looks to Etherian tier lists to try out Etherians will probably enjoy this item. Now, for the Teardrop Necklace, I just want to say 3 moves. Bubble Beam, Water Gun, Hydro Pump. These are 3 different moves, they've got 3 different hitboxes, and they are all 3 very good moves. And all 3 are boosted by the necklace. It helps that many Etherians that have one of these amazing moves have access to the other 2. The only thing holding back the item are water cycle Etherians. That's it. The last item on the must-buy list is the Magma Crystal. Most fire types use this item. Flare Blitz, Flamethrower, and Fire Punch are good moves and are oftentimes all together on fire type Etherians. Punch Etherians might prefer Sharp Icicle, which is the ice boosting move, but the sheer amount of fire types that use this give it the edge. The next 6 items are useful to have, but aren't entirely necessary. If you main something which would benefit from one of these, I would suggest to put it on your wish list, or credit list, I don't know. But Glass Wind Chimes, Playing Cards, Sharp Icicle, Bug-Eyed Goggles, Leaf Blade, and Draconic Band are all very good, just aren't on the same par as the must-buys. Now for Glass Wind Chimes, this is basically entirely here just because of Gust. So many Etherians rely on Gust and its chip damage. Sure, Ice and Grass type moves are great, but Gust is a 4-second cooldown move, which has around the same radius of hitbox as Hyper Beam. It's a no-brainer. Playing Cards is almost entirely held up by Psybeam, although there are a couple okayish psychic moves. It's a good move, has a very nice cooldown, and lands on the opponent often. The Sharp Icicle is used by many ice types and a couple ice punch Etherians. Ice is also a decent coverage type against the meta. It's not on the same par as some other things, but it has its uses. The Bug-Eyed Goggles are used by some bug types to amplify the power of Bug Bite. The item is nothing too special, but it has its moments. Now for the Leaf Blade. A lot of Etherians have grass type moves. Some move pools aren't worth it, but Etherians that rely on Buoyancy, Giga Drain, and Solar Beam usually need to deal as much damage as possible with these moves. It isn't higher on the tier list because grass isn't doing as amazing as it used to in the meta. And finally for this tier, the Draconic Band. Many dragon type moves do have a ton of base power, not even including stab. Dragon Rush and Dragon Claw do incredibly well paired with the band. Essentially, this item helps boost already powerful attacks. These next 4 moves are niche but decent in some scenarios. I would save these for buying later if you're choosing an order to these. The Haunted Scythe is an okayish item. Ghost types right now don't run many ghost type moves and usually have a lot of coverage moves, or moves that cover their own weaknesses. Astonish does too little damage to justify wasting an item slot. Shadow Ball would do well with it if it could reliably hit opponents. The only real users of this are Scarams and Majuka, which use Haunted Scythe decently with Shadow Claw and Shadow Punch, respectively. But they both have other options for items, so it's your choice. The expired batteries are pretty much only used to boost Discharge, Thunder Fang, and Volt Tackle. Now this sounds decent, but only a few Etherians use the batteries specifically for this purpose. Etherians that could benefit from expired batteries tend to also utilize other items in certain scenarios. A couple of Etherians like Tesline and Electris use it decently if the user's playstyle involves hitting these moves. When Earthquake or Stone Edge can land on the opponent, the rough slingshot usually does very well and gives a very nice damage boost. However, so many Etherians are immune to Terra moves that it's usually worth just using another item while keeping one unboosted Terra move. Now for the Boxing Gloves. This took me a bit of time to rank. The only fighting damaging move right now is Aura Sphere. Some Etherians use the move decently, but oftentimes they have to use it for trapping or to stop a rush, and usually the user isn't focused on damage. These Etherians also generally have other moves which benefit more from another item, so yeah, it's pretty bad, but I guess it has some use. These last 4 items are completely useless right now, and I would not buy these unless you have credits to spare. The Luminous Gem is first. The only light damaging move right now is Moonblast. Now, Moonblast isn't a bad move by any means, but its goal isn't to hit but to block places off. The Etherians that get Moonblast also just happen to have better item options. Now for the Ancient Lance, the only metal damaging move right now is Metal Claw. Sometimes Goldsper has to use this item if it can't hit Terra moves, but that is literally the only time to use it. For the Cobra Whip, the only poison damaging move right now is Poison Sting. This is a very bad move. Enough said. And finally, last for least, the Chromatic Stardust. There are no damaging cosmic type moves. It literally has no purpose. It can't boost anything except for maybe hidden power. I don't know. But no one is using this item. Anyway, I'd still buy all of the items eventually because Animus is planning on adding moves and you'll never know when an item will become super useful. But that's my guide on battle items and monsters of Etheria. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching.